ransomware. This is not a negotiation.
I was not speaking to a human. It was AI chatbot on behalf of the hacker, which didn't even negotiate with me.
This week, Dr. Erdal Ozkaya joins the show. He is a Chief Information Security Officer, a former Microsoft cybersecurity expert, and a man who has seen the future of hacking.
Think your biometrics are safe? Think again.
They cloned the CEO's voice. The code help desk. You enforce and bypass the security.
It's not a matter of if, but when.
If they don't change the mindset, if they don't get assured they're gonna get hacked, guess what? They're gonna get hacked. Write it down. If not today, tomorrow. I hope I will be wrong.
And the biggest vulnerability isn't your computer. It's in your pocket.
Your phone knows exactly where you are at the moment. Your phone, you probably asked a question to your AI assistant that you could not ask your wife.
But the real danger might be the solution Australia just voted for.
So I'm going to share my idea with TikTok. And what does Australia's and America's be concerned? Chinese state-owned company. Now I'm giving my idea to those organizations. So what if tomorrow Facebook or Meta gets sold to a Chinese company? So this is going to bring other issues.
If you had to summarize what it is you do and why you do it, how would you summarize it?
I do what I love, and on top of they give me money. What I do is, my official title is Chief Information Security Officer. Right now, I work at Morgan State University at CISO, which is one of the, which is more than 110 years old university. But right before that, like 2 weeks ago, I was working as a CISO in a large cybersecurity company. Before that, I was a CISO in a large global bank. Before that, I was at Microsoft. So long story short, I do cybersecurity for a living. And besides that, I speak to people like you, to communities. And if you remember, we met back years ago in a conference. I speak in conferences. I try to be part of the community. What I do is basically securing our internal assets, our students, or in the bank, our customers, or in the cybersecurity company, but the customers. I do what I love. On top of it, they give me paycheck, so no complaints. And as you know, I travel the world, and top of it, like last week I was in Turkey, invited by NATO. Before that, I was in Germany, helping to raise cybersecurity awareness. Is in simple terms what I do.
Erdal, tell me about the dumbest hack you've heard personally and you've seen in the past 12 months. Something that you heard about and you thought, how is this still happening in 2025? Walk me through what actually happened.
All right, can I be honest? Most of the hacks that you read in the news that you think is sophisticated, honestly, it's not. Like today, everybody's scared of ransomware. What is ransomware? Ransomware is basically kidnapping your computers and asking for ransom. Otherwise, you cannot run your computer, your network. And how does it work? You click, still, most of the ransomware attack starts with a simple social engineering attack. I keep asking this question to everybody. But, my friend, who knows it the best? Your mom, your wife, your best friend, or your phone?
Your phone.
Don't tell your wife. Your phone knows exactly where you are at the moment. Your phone, you probably asked a question to your AI assistant that you could not ask your wife or your best friend. So back to the question that you asked. Again, when we looked at ransomware, the very first known ransomware attack, happened in 1980 in a hospital. An employee who was pissed off at the vendor used the properties to encrypt the computers and ask for ransom. In summary, there is nothing new. The attack vector has been improving, but now in 2026, nothing has changed. The hackers are finding a hole and then attack from this hole that we call vulnerability. And that's it.
Wow. So we're talking something that's been around for 20 years, but here's what I don't get. Everyone knows about these attacks, right? We've had security training for decades now. Why are smart people at legitimate businesses still falling for this stuff?
We always pretend it's not us, it's someone else. Same in cybersecurity. Like, thinking it's about me, I'm too small. Or I am antivirus. Or, you know what, I completed cybersecurity awareness training. Or we trust on our vendors so much.
So we know that businesses are still getting into trouble with the basic concept, and the cyber training is obviously just a tick box exercise, being trained the same thing for everyone. But there's a big change, something that's changing the whole game for the industry, which is AI. And I really want to get into this because I think most businesses, and particularly small business owners, don't realize how much it is actually affecting them. But how are criminals actually using this stuff to hack a business right now? Can you give a simple, non-technical explanation to that?
Last week, I was in a conference. It was a tourism conference, and I was speaking in a hospitality event. You might wonder why. I don't know if you know MGM Hotel Group, which is one of the biggest. They were hacked last year through AI. You know how? The hackers cloned the CEO's voice. Look. That's the. Remember your first question? The dumbest example. Here we go. Which answers to like they cloned the CEO's voice. Call help desk. You enforce and bypass the security. And if you can just, I was, by the way, a few weeks ago, I was on a conference in upstate New York. I was on American TV. I did it live. I can watch it on my YouTube. Where I just clone my own voice, and I can speak 4 languages. But I clone my voice to speak with the moment 11 languages, 12 languages. And then I took a selfie with the reporter, and I used AI tool to ask that photo to be real. So unfortunately, people still falling into this. AI is great. ChatGPT is just a language model. But I'm going to remind you something else. You and I, when we first met, cloud was new. This is, oh my God, we're getting old, my friend. You didn't have any gray goatee back then. But I had more black hairs. I have none, I think. Let me see. Oh my God. All right. Cut. Just joking. Leave it as this. Everyone was talking about AI, virtualization. Today, back then, virtualization cloud today is business as usual. AI, oh my God, AI is going to take my jobs away. Yes, AI is going to take some jobs away. For example, it's going to kill many jobs in terms of basic level, in terms of being also a script kiddie. What is a script kiddie? Basically running some scripts. Today, you can ask AI to do the advanced hacking for you or penetration testing for you. I know you know what a bug bounty is. Bug bounty is basically a platform where ethical hackers like myself go. Some companies advertise, please hack us. And if you hack them, you report it. And as a result, you get a bounty back. And today, I know a company is making close to $200,000 through their AI software. They basically go on, use AI to find all these bugs and report it. And they do it on a global scale, $200,000 weekly. Or let me give you another example, 100% true. Like, I don't know if you dealt with ransomware before.
Yep.
Did you?
Yep.
Did you negotiate involved with your customers?
Yep.
You know what I saw this year with these eyes when I was still working for a cybersecurity company before this role? I was not speaking to a human. It was AI chatbot on behalf of the hacker, which didn't even negotiate with me.
Wow.
Let me repeat. I think you didn't get it. So I was talking to a chatbot on behalf of my customer, and they're like, you pay or bye-bye. So hackers are, again, a step ahead, even in AI. They fully utilize AI. Look, AI is great. ChatGPT, you ask, it knows everything. It is good as the data is. And we know OpenAI, they collect our data. Remember we used to talk about Google collect your data, they read your emails, as a result, they give you advertisement back.
Yeah.
Today, OpenAI does the same thing. They get all our questions, all our data, even if you pay for them, and they train their own data. As we say, it's common now. If you put garbage in, you will get garbage out. If you put good value in, you will get good value out. In other terms, AI is now the future itself. And shouldn't we be scared like Skynet? Is Robocop's gonna come? Is the Terminator gonna come and kill the future, the past Erdal, so Erdal will not amend the AI security future? That I don't know yet. All right, forget about the religion scientists. But that I don't know yet. But one thing I know 100% that hackers actively using AI, and I have witnessed that. I'm not giving any customer names because you and I will definitely for sure in trouble. It's a big organization which also exists in Australia. I'm right now based in the US. It's also an organization which is in Australia, which I helped them, and I was trying to help them. At the end, there is two things to do. There is two types of organizations. One, they know they've been hacked. Two, the ones they don't know yet. And if you don't change, I'm talking for customers, if they don't change the mindset, if they don't get assured they're going to get hacked, guess what? They're going to get hacked. Write it down. If not today, tomorrow. I hope I will be wrong, but unfortunately, based on Mendy's report, based on Gartner, I can name you all these reports which promise I read. Forget about my books. All of them state that one thing goes up every single year. No, it's not inflation. It's the cost of data breach, which affects organizations. It went up from 3-point-something million to 4.88 million in 2024. And I bet once we get the reports for 2025, it's going to be 5-point-something million.
Wow. Let that sink in, people. Let that sink in. 5.5 million. So we know.
It's more than 4.8 million, but I bet it's going to be even higher. It's like inflation. Every year goes high.
Insane. So we know what people are doing with AI. They're, from the hacker's perspective, creating deepfake from information that's been put in. So if you were to advise a business today who said, listen, we want to use AI as a tool because we understand it's going to make our lives easier, what is the approach this business should take to be safe in regards to using AI?
But never ever trust the vendor. I'm going to tell something surprising. Even Google's Gemini is more secure than, or it's not sharing. Even Google is known to advertise or used to be known as an advertisement company, right? But today, OpenAI is openly getting on your data and training themselves. Their Google promises to keep your data for you. And it is giving you responses based on I'm not saying use Google, same with Microsoft Copilot. So first, rule number one, know what the AI is taking from you. There is nothing for free. Saying that, AI is not for free at all. Two, if you're going to use AI, let's say, and you have lots of IPs, and this AI is DeepSeek, the Chinese version, and it's been proved that it sends data back to China, then don't cry. This time, you're not paying ransom, but you're giving the data for free. Your IPs for free that you run, that you make money, that you spend years to invest, whatever. Third, you cannot run away from AI. You have to use AI. But like in everything, use it responsible way. Know what to share. Know what is leaving your service. Know what is coming in. In other terms, what I'm trying to say is, dear Bora, don't take it as is. It's like when you buy something, read the ingredients. It says 90% fat free, means 10% fat. Free credit card for 3 seconds. Don't just read the big writings. Try to read what is small. Don't forget, anything big is what they give you, anything small, what they out of you. And usually there is more small writing than the big one, will be my answer.
So if I wanted to make this real and I'm the boss and I've come up to you and I said, we want to make life easier for our business. We want to automate some of the stuff using AI. What is it that I should be giving AI and what I shouldn't be giving AI, and which, like, out of the box, what should we use? I've come to you, you're the professional. Which technology, for the sake of argument, I'm either using Microsoft 365 business for business, or I've got Google Workspace in the business environment. Which technology and what information should I be giving it to make the use of it properly and that my business is minimizing the risk?
There is many, for small businesses, for the people, for your talk show wise, okay? And I'm going to make it simple. ChatGPT is you giving everything away. It is in the terms and conditions. I mean, don't get me wrong. Right now, I had ChatGPT installed. Okay? But I only use it, I know when to use it. I use Microsoft Copilot and Gemini, both of them, Gemini Pro and Copilot. I got Copilot through Microsoft. Gemini, honestly, I pay for it. Same thing, I have ChatGPT as well. Or, to be honest, in my phone, I can show it to you. I have Meta AI. I have everything but DeepSeek. Okay? I have Notebook LLM. I have Gronk from X. Of course, I have Copilot and so on. So, everything which I know takes my data away, please don't use it. So, yes, I said I'm using ChatGPT, but promise only for common stuff that even if it leaks, I don't care. Does make sense what I'm saying? That's for your
100%
orders. For enterprise is different, but you told me this is aimed for small businesses. For enterprises, use your own language model. Know what is being shared. Try to use closed circuit and only get updates based on, like Microsoft does give it to you. They have this option for you. You know exactly what's shared with Microsoft, what is not. But it costs a lot of money. If you're a small business, try to stick to either Gemini or Microsoft will be, and I'm not saying this as a Microsoft MVP or RD or ex-Microsoft employee. I'm saying this as a security expert who was invited to your talk show. Neither both of these companies paid me any money. They did in the past when I was working for them, but right now I'm not an employee.
Okay, I want to give a reality check from a perspective. If you were to put your, let's go grey hat on for a minute, and I used ChatGPT for the last few months, and I've genuinely wanted to make my life easier. So I've uploaded my business plan ideas. I've uploaded my financials just to, so it can calculate numbers from me. Now, if you were a grey hat person looking specifically to find information and you were targeting my business, is it true to say that you could use the same technology, ask the right questions, and possibly even find my specific data or close enough to it?
Close enough to it? It was on Google a few months ago. I don't know if you read it. All ChatGPT queries was published in Google as is. It was crawled by Google. Yes, without your name, without exactly who you are, that's kept for OpenAI, but it was already published. It was there, it didn't say Bora, it didn't say Dr. Erdal Ozkaya, it didn't say whatever university, but it happened already.
Yeah.
I hope this, unfortunately, this answers the question. I know it answers the question.
It does.
It's going to happen in the future. I always say the same thing. To know what happened to know to predict the future, you have to know what happened in the past. If you don't know what happened in the past, there is no way you can predict the future. And every year for the last 5 years, I always record video saying predictions 2026, 25, 25, 2024. And every year I hit. You know why I know that? I'm not Nostradamus because I know humans well. And you don't have to, it's not rocket science. Rocket science is much harder than that. I love Elon Musk strategy in this, and I'm not saying Elon Musk is a good or bad person. That's for you to judge. But when he first built SpaceX, he had a mission. His mission was going to Mars, but going to space was expensive because each component was built by a different manufacturer. He went to the basics. He first said, look, going to space is expensive because every time we fly to space, you cannot reuse the same technology. What he did is he started to manufacture everything himself. Then he started to, to see the spaceship goes and comes back, after going to space, comes back and lands in the same base. So he saved lots of money like this. Europe and science is not as hard as before. If not, ask ChatGPT. You got the joke at the back? Saying that, again, I do use ChatGPT, but I believe I know what to ask and what I don't, but hey, I believe because the one thing that I know is, well, I don't know enough.
Yeah.
And this is not my saying. That's Socrates said this 3,000 years ago.
Yeah. We're always learning, aren't we? And I can say that because my eldest has just finished school, but the reality that I said to him is, you've now finished the second small mountain, and you've got your third mountain, and then you got this school of life. We're always learning. No matter what, we're always learning. Doesn't matter what age we are, what experience we have.
And I agree with you. And that's a grave, and we don't know what's going to happen. Until that time, you either learn or look. You're existing today because your grandfather survived. I don't know back then. I know humans and dinosaurs never existed at the same time, but there are some enemies for humankind, and we made it. The ones that couldn't come today is the ones they couldn't make. And same applies for business. It's if you don't follow the trends, you're going to be out of the business. But if you blindly trust the trends, you might be out of the business. You have to know, like, sharing is caring. That's what we teach all our life, our kids. But how much? Remember when Facebook was new? Yeah. We used to put everything on Facebook. Today, everybody knows that, hey, it's not your Facebook. It's Mark Zuckerberg's Meta's Facebook. Same thing, Apple. That's a great example, Remember Facebook when it was new? And you will probably remember, I did deliver at Microsoft Gold Coast 2011, the dark side of social media. I was talking about how bad it could be. Nobody believed me. I think you were in that session as well. Today, everybody knows it. Long story short, AI is like Facebook 12, 15 years ago. Don't put everything on Facebook. Otherwise, don't forget, it's not your Facebook.
It's...
Even I learned something through this, through what you and say, like, hey, that's a good thing. I'm gonna use my own analogy next time because I love it. It's not, as you know, it's scripted. He didn't give me any questions before. I heard the first time here, and thank you. I offered, I'm like, no. Remember in the beginning you said, Dr. Ozkaya, would you like to have it? I'm like, no, let's do it live. And if you do anything wrong, you can always cut it. Just kidding. So if you don't hear this part, means he cut it off and leave pieces.
You are definitely a live wire, and we love you for that.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
You are definitely amazing value to us humans, that's for sure. And what you do in our industry is amazing. So, I'm sure I'm speaking on behalf of everyone when I say
Aussie. Do you see my Aussie flag there?
That's it.
I might be 16 hours away, actually 17 hours from Melbourne, but I still have my flags with me in the States.
That's right. Look, even though you originate from the other side of the world, the fact that you're here, we are going to claim you as one of ours. That's just how we work in Australia. You know that. And you're always welcome to come home, my friend. Smart move. So let's get into the hottest topic possibly globally at the moment, which is Australia just became the first country, or will be from tomorrow, the 10th, will be the first country in the world to ban social media
I'm still
for
on the
children.
date, by the way. It's 2 days away for me.
Yeah, I'll give you a warning. Don't worry. Australia has become, or will become, the first country in the world to ban social media, major platforms including Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, and the like. Basically, the platforms have to verify the ages, or
The
they
blush.
face a fine up to $50 million. Now, my understanding is that there's a 1-year grace period for these companies to get that technology right, regardless of the fact that it starts tomorrow, which is, fair enough, I guess, even though they've had a whole year to think about it. Every other government is watching us carefully from what we're seeing. There's 2 countries who are already saying they will follow suit, but I'm certain that they're watching. What's your gut reaction to what Australia's trying to do?
Years ago, when I was in Australia, I used to go to high school to do volunteer cyber awareness sessions. I used to talk about cyberbullying. I think I visit more than 100 schools, even in Melbourne, Canberra. I went all across Australia. And back then, I used to ask, US Facebook? Kids used to raise hand. When I'm a few 30 years old, it's not naive. But is banning really the solution? Is the question that I'm going to ask you. I don't know if it's a good example. Like when I don't know if you remember, when I was 18 in Australia, we used to have blockbusters, okay? In Germany. You remember I was born in Germany before I moved to Australia. We used to have blockbusters. And even in Australia, I remember when I first moved there. But when I moved to Australia, I was 18. But to hire, back then, I wasn't after the porn cassettes. I was after... we had Nintendo, and I wanted to hire the Nintendo games, and I was 19. And my father used to not allow me that. I faked my ID. This was one of my first hackings. I used to go when I was 15 years old with an 18 years old ID to promise not do anything black porn. I used to hire the latest game so I can play it because I couldn't afford to buy it on the weekends. So there's going to be always come on, be honest, Bora. How many times when you were young, you went, forget about your parents, you went to a club with someone else's ID or claiming that you're 18 plus? So this is always going to happen. Will they find scary companies? Probably they do. But what I like about, Australia, finally we are first on something. But unfortunately, this is first on banning. Yes, kids under 13 should not be social media, or they should have limited social media. But again, talk about porn. Now, US banned some porn sites in some states, by the way. But the same, Australia is not the first. And promise I'm not here to talk about porn, or I go to porn or whatever. That's not anybody's business what you do or what I do. But in some states, when you go to porn, if you don't verify your age, you can't go to the website. I'm like, I'm not going to share my ID with a weird porn site. No. But this is going to be other issues. And back to reality. So I'm going to share my ID with TikTok. And what was Australia's and America's biggest concern? Chinese state-owned company. Now I'm giving my ID to those organizations. And what if they get hacked? You will probably remember, years ago, I found out that there was many Australian IDs leaked into Google through that Google search boxes that Google used to sell. And it was all over the news, I don't know if you remember, which made me quite famous back then. And, it was all in news outlets. And I think in my blog, you can still see leaked Australian IDs. So what happened? So what if tomorrow Facebook or Meta gets sold to a Chinese company? And everybody knows Australia has now a great relationship with China. I don't know if it's changed now, but at least in paper, we were friends. So we're giving these ideas away. So this is going to bring other issues. Okay, maybe they're going to verify it in a different way. And only one thing I believe, like, yeah, I'm trying to find the right, I don't know, like US, for example. Oh, no, that's not good. I'm in trouble, talking too much as well. But yes, kids should not be in social media. Kids should under a certain age. But banning is, banning the kids, they're going to find a way. Banning the organizations, they're going to make it harder. But you and I know great hackers always, that's how I became an ethical hacker. Back then I wasn't ethical. They're going to find some way to bypass them, and they will bypass them. Long story short, it's a mixed topic. While I support kids definitely should not be in social media, banning, I don't know if it's the right solution. I know I couldn't answer it, but I hope you know it's really complicated topic. Not as simple like, yes, I agree with the government, but I know this is going to be bypassed. Will be my answer. And the fine, $50 million, honestly, I remember, I remember when I was working for a technology company years ago in Australia, we were not allowed to get with our phones to the meeting. And each time you touch your phone, you had to pay $5. I swear to God, once I went in because I was expecting a couple of important messages. I put $50 in the jar. I'm like, hey, you know what? This is for the next 10, 50 million is nothing for Google. I know it's expensive, or 50 million is nothing for Meta. How many times they sold our data? Analytics, remember that analytic thing? I forgot the name. So they're going to use this data in a different way. Long story short, banning is not the solution. And I know I could not answer the question as I wish, but because I'm not that clear either. That's the sense of, you know what I mean, right? I hope you do what I mean. Now you got it.
No, I do understand. So if it were up to you and the Australian government came to you and said, this is what we want to do, what is the solution?
I would say, I would ask the company to have, there are some certain kids game, like have sandbox, have the algorithm to display on anything which is allowed in Australia instead of banning it. Because age verification, it sounds easy on the paper. I really want something to do. I read it, I know, but how, by the way, it was always not allowed under 13, and it was always used. It says something new, but will banning be a solution? Why are we today in this world, Bora? Why are humankind kicked out of the heaven? I'm going to be a bit more specific.
Tell me.
For the ones, they know the story. Adam and Eve, they were in heaven. And tree, some people call it apple tree. Some religions, they say it was just a fruit tree. Who cares what it was? So we are today in the world because Eve got that forbidden fruit. As a result, we're suffering in the world. If you don't believe, think about Snow White. Snow White knew the witch is gonna come. She bite the apple. Same story, by the way. But solution, we're suffering because of our grandfather did do a mistake. So banning will be a solution. Then I don't want to go there, but I hope that this gives the and this was a social engineer attack as well. The devil came. Remember the devil put a social engineer. The devil came to Eve like, hey Eve, she has everything in the heaven, right? Hey, you know what? Get this fruit, apple, whatever. And as a result, we are kicked out. She had everything. It's like today, hey, Bora, you want a free iPhone? For $1. You want to use AI faster than ChatGPT? You don't want to use Meta? Yeah, give me your ID verify. But what am I giving to verify? Like, is the Australian government giving me a token, a USB token that, like what Apple does today? Answer for you. When you sign up on your phone to an email, Apple uses the option to scramble. So basically, they don't share your email address. Bora, check it at hotmail.com. I don't know if this is your email, but what they do is they make it a random number when they just share this with the provider. And as a result, if you start to receive spam, you can easily unsubscribe, or you can delete your data because they never get your data. Maybe this will be a great solution. Hey, I just helped the companies to find a solution. And, maybe this is the solution. Maybe we will, parental guidance is going to ensure this phone is used by 13 years old, which means now I'm not going to share everything as is, but because I have parental guidance, maybe Apple should, or phone companies should now should be forced to tell this phone is used by an underage, and this underage person can only sign up to those applications. You can't even download it. Will be a better solution.
Yeah.
Anyway, I swear to God, I didn't think about it until now. We got the solution, my friend. Here we go. Next
There you go.
ID.
So if our communications minister is listening, please take this advice on board. You've been told by the expert that you should have gone to in the first place.
In Australia. Well, in 2009, I flew all the way to Washington. I was invited by White House. When Parliament House was hacked back then, I was training back then, if you remember, I had my own training center and that was quite big. I was training, but I was invited. But today, more than 50 countries I helped actively. So not more than 20 countries I've visited, 50 countries, but sadly, Australian government is not one of them. They have great advisors. As a result, we keep getting hacked. Continue.
Take that message
This
on
was a
board,
message to the minister, not to everybody else. And please don't cut it. Let them listen to it. That's the reason why I moved away, by the way.
people. So
Getting more money as well, don't worry.
love it. So the advice is coming from everywhere, left, right, and center on this technology, and what you said is probably one of the better ones I've heard. But my concern, as someone who understands the technology, someone who works in the industry like yourself, though I don't have your credentials yet, basically we're handing over ID, not just our first name, last name, and all this information, but we're actually giving biometrical information, photos, which is what worries me. And
Whatever they ask for, right? I
Yeah,
want to be deadly. Hey, I'm 30 years old. Here, proof. Here's my photo. Here's my ID. Somehow they're going to get this information. Otherwise, I'm
Now-
not going to get access.
you have two young children of your own, right? Oh, well, younger.
19 and 23, but both Australian citizens, both studying medicine here in US, and both probably they're going to go one day back to Australia.
Yeah. Would you right now, if they were living in Australia and for the sake of argument, they were in the right age group, would you trust any existing system for them to upload their personal digital ID to?
Again, in the past, I'm just thinking when I was in Australia, even though I think it was 2010, 2009, when we found that Australian IDs were leaked through, not using search engine optimization, whatever. Back then, I tried to, raise cyber awareness a lot. And today, will I, or do I have the control? Like, even back then, I used to have parental controls, and until my Laura turned 18, and she just turned 19 last month. So until she became 18, she had strict controls. Even today, I have not parental controls, but not DPI, but sort of traffic optimization, packet inspection to ensure that the network is secure. even today, I do this sort of or even at work right now in university. I do this in a way that I ensure that the traffic is secure. There is no viruses. There is no unallowed, like, for example, even if you are 25 in a school network, you cannot go to certain websites. They might be not legal. They might be legal businesses, but you're not allowed to do it in my network. So I inspect the traffic this way when I say traffic inspection. But when I upload the IDs, it's a good question. And to be honest, while I'm talking, I was trying to think the answer. Will I, honestly, I know not to trust anybody. Like, I know I cannot change my IDs that easily. To answer your question, unless I don't have any other choice, probably I will not allow them. Because I know they're going to sell this ID.
Yeah.
There are many details. I know that. Maybe not today, tomorrow. Because it happened in the past. Remember, a few minutes ago, we talked about it. To predict the future, you have to know the past. And the past showed those companies, they're going to use it to train their AI. And they did. If already not, by the way. So saying that, Osama Norman was hacked multiple times. And God knows what data was leaked. Or, the hacker is going to get those details anyway, anyhow. But at least I do what I can do in my powers to protect. And that's what I can do. Like, I did everything to ensure that my kids cannot smoke. But now they're 18. If they want to smoke, they can, but I did my best to prevent that as much as they can. If they went to their friend's house and they smoked, that I have no control of. As long as I couldn't smell it, I didn't notice it, it bypassed. It doesn't make sense. I just given it smoking as example.
Yep. So what's something simple advice if I was a parent who's got a child who's under the age of 16 right now, what simple advice do you have for them?
Trust them. And no. But speak to them. When I say trust, no trust, the kids are going to find a way. And they're most probably smarter than you are. I mean, you're in IT. But today, in Australia or anywhere in the world, if something goes wrong with the technology, TV, computers, the kids are called first, right? Like, son, I cannot do this in my, and dad, you're too old. They do it. Isn't it true? Like, even though you and I, we are IT literated, maybe this is not the case for both of us, but I know this is the case with your parents, or with many other parents in the world. So we are in the age of technology, and the kids are way ahead of us. Look, compared to, when did you have your first phone? When did you have access first time to internet? And my daughter was born with internet. I tried to not give her a cell phone until a certain age, but then pandemic hit. She was sleeping with the iPad because the school was happening through iPad. Long story short, banning is never ever a solution. Raising awareness, sharing the danger is a solution. Banning is not going to be a solution with my answer. Trust, speak, raise awareness is a better way.
That's beautiful advice. So switching back over now to our core listeners' topic of small business, if there was 3 simple steps that they could walk away with today after listening to this, what would you advise a business to protect themselves?
The basics. And look, I hate the pandemic. In Australia, I was jailed twice. When I say jailed, every time I used to go overseas, I used to come, and 2 weeks I had to be in a prison, 5-star hotel, and pay $3,000. You know what I mean, right? The quarantine, when I say jail, promise I never had a criminal act in my past. I was twice quarantined for 2 weeks. For 4 weeks of my life was in a hotel room. It was 14 days, at least at the beginning. The basic was simple. Put a mask, wash your hands, keep your distance. Now, put this into cybersecurity. I didn't miss this days. And get a patch, be up to date. Patch your operating system. Whatever you use, Mac, Mac is secure. No, it's not. Apple, no, it's not. Windows, no, it's not. Be up to date. Where possible, do not reuse passwords. And if you're going to reuse password, at least have MFA. Look, this is my MFA. It requires a Face ID, then all my applications. Yeah, you can steal my password, but if you don't have this code in the next 30 seconds, my password by itself is not going to be useful. Use multi-factor authentication. And third, don't forget, you're going to get hacked. Have a backup plan. Let me give you another example. Bora, if you know I'm just about to hit you, what will you do? Will you just
Block.
yourself, right? You know that hackers are after. They're after our data. So why not have a contingency plan? Have a B plan, C plan, D plan. Will be my 3 simple advice.
That's
And if you don't know how to
Keep it
do it,
simple.
ask someone. Sorry, that's something for you. You're gonna allow this one. If you don't know how to do it, get someone like Bora who can help you to do it. Hey, that's the bonus. And honestly, like if you don't know, there's a beautiful saying, as you know, in Turkish. If you don't know how to eat this, go to the school and learn how to eat this. Bilmiyorsan bu boku git mektebinde oku. I didn't translate it in a way, as been said, but if you don't know how to use this crap, go learn how to do that before you. And this is the way how to do it. Like when you translate it doesn't make sense, but look, you cannot know everything, but do not be shy of asking. Use ChatGPT at least for this. That's okay.
Yeah, that's great advice. I love it. Old sayings, no matter where they come from, are there and still being said thousands of years later for a good reason, right? So there's wisdom. It's basically that's what it is, right? It's all wisdom. It's not to be taken literally because we know that can not work well as well. But it's
Exactly.
just wisdom and advice to make
Yeah.
sense.
Exactly. It's good to say, like you go, you listen to all elders, and that's what it is. Like, listen to someone who knows better than you.
I want to say thank you for everything that you do out there. You could definitely be just on the payroll of the corporate environment, but you choose to give all this information for free. You get amazing guests on your own podcast and you broadcast this on YouTube. You're always willing to, on a whim, help without any questions. And as you said, volunteering your time, schools, education. And so for that, for the energy you've given today for our podcast, I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you. I truly believe we are better together. And as I said, sharing is caring. The more I share, the more I learn. Even today, while I'm talking to you, I'm like, hey, I like this. As if I didn't say it. I learned something for myself. I learned a lot from you. And I hope anybody who's listening to the show is going to learn at least one thing. And if you do that, it's going to be successful for Bora and myself. Thank you very much for the invitation. And I'm looking forward to give you a hug very soon.